Hello, this video has been 9 months in the making! No, not actually. I've just been inactive. Anyways, this is the long-awaited N-Zap tutorial! Disclaimer, I am in no way a professional Splatoon player, as I am a low-level competitive Splatoon player. I'm just here to give some advice on a weapon I use to play. But with all of that out of the way, let's get started. To start off, N-Zap is a short-range shooter which can be played more aggressively or passively based on your preference or what it accompanies. To get into N-Zap, lean your playstyle more towards the other weapons you play or the playstyle you are used to. Something like if you've played an aggressive weapon like Splattershot, you would lean more towards an offensive playstyle, or you would play more passively if you're used to longer range weapons or backlines. In solo queue, I would advise you keep a more frontline oriented playstyle that can easily play on its own. For the most part, you will struggle to win if you play supportively, as you rely a lot on your teammates to get the kills that you need. If your teammates are all backlines or they simply get wrecked by the enemy because it's solo queue, you'll have to compensate for them and be able to support yourself when they can't support you. While N-Zap 85 is a weapon carried a lot by its kit, the main weapon's capabilities are still very important to consider. The Zap itself is well-rounded, similar to other short-range shooters. With this, it has a lot of mobility, decent killing power among shooters, and pretty good ink efficiency. Tips for the main weapon would be to take advantage of your paint and mobility, as you can play more swiftly than most other weapons. You also have an awesome kit that can support different playstyles, making it up to you as how you want to play. So keep an open mind, as you have so many ways to play. I would also consider which matchups are best suited for the weapon, so they can take advantage of the situation. One thing to be aware of, however, is that it has less damage output in comparison to weapons like the Splattershot and the 52 Gal. It does deal more damage than the Splattershot Jr, but it will be harder to fight frontline / skirmisher weapons. Because of this, most situations would play out better if you stay by a teammate. Moving on to the sub-weapon, Suction Bomb provides a great poking tool and a way to keep people out of an area. This is due to the longer amount of time it takes before exploding. This makes it perfect for keeping people away from certain places, like an area where a backline would be, to make them move out of their position or temporarily block the enemy from getting to a certain area, like to get to a choke point. Here's an example. Say in Sturgeon Shipyard, you want to make sure that the enemies don't go through this route. You could throw a suction bomb and keep them out of the area, buying you extra time or even a kill. You can also throw a bomb up at where backlines stay or on the moving platform, forcing them to move out of their position. It actually means a lot to displace the enemy, especially their backline, as they have to stop what they're doing and move. This means they have to improvise and they're more prone to making mistakes. This is a shortened version of how you can use suction bombs, when I'll likely link a video that can go more into depth on how to use bombs like suction bomb. Tacticooler is the best part of this kit, as you and your team can benefit. Because of the instant respawn, you can take advantage of it and play more aggressively. It takes a bit of time to get your cooler back, as the cooler's cooldown lasts about as long as the effects do. So it just about never hurts to take advantage when going for an aggressive playstyle. One thing I will mention about Cooler is its placement. Sometimes you can get away with placing it wherever, but it's better to place it in a more optimal position for you and your team. Tacticoolers should be placed by your teammates, or where you think your teammates will be. When you're planning to push in with Cooler, place it in front of where you're going to push as opposed to right at your teammates. If you place it by where your teammates are in the moment, they will likely already be ahead once the Cooler drops, and that makes your Cooler more useless because they likely won't go back to it. It can work in solo queue too, as long as you don't have to rely much on your teammates to pick up the Cooler. As long as you can predict where your teammates are going to push at, they'll likely pick up Cooler naturally, which makes it way less frustrating for you. A thing to be cautious of is how risky the situation is and how likely your teammates will be able to pick up the Cooler. Sometimes they'll die before picking it up, and if the push fails. One or two of your teammates can also die before you plan on using the cooler. If this happens, wait on your teammates to be in a better position or back up to pick up the cooler in time and then use it. Extra links to other videos will be in the description that can hopefully explain certain parts that either I didn't cover or can go into further detail in certain aspects that I don't know as much about. But thank you for watching this tutorial, and I hope it will point people in the right direction in their N-Zap endeavors. I'm Lumi, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.